Hey, I'm gonna change things up a little bit today and actually bring you right to the computer because I wanna teach you 2 things that I think are gonna be really helpful when you're booking flights just using cash. I know everybody's not into points and miles. I really hope to get you there because I think it will completely change the way you travel in the future and what you open your mind up to. I teach a group of widows how to do this in my program, the Travel More Method for Widows. If you're interested in applying to that program, the link is down below. But today we're just gonna actually talk about cash because even if you are a points and miles person, every once in a while you end up booking some cash flights. Not very often. Actually, when was the last time I booked a cash flight? Maybe like little hopper flights around Europe. Anyway, back to the point. Today, I'm just gonna show you these 2 tricks. They're kind of my favorite hacks to get cheaper cash flights, so I hope they can be helpful to you. This is just gonna be a short one. Let's go. So my favorite website to search for flights has become Google Flights. I used to be an Expedia kayak kind of girl, but things just feel a little more streamlined here. And there are some really nice features that I'm gonna tell you about today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my home city, which is the city of Chicago. And then I'm gonna leave where to completely blank. I have to pick a date if I'm gonna leave where to blank. So I'm going to select a weekend at the end of the summer. Let's say I'm gonna leave on a Friday, come back on a Tuesday. Okay, and now I'm gonna hit explore. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna bring me to the United States first since that's where we're based. And it is gonna show me prices all over the country. This is just such a good feature for those moments where you're like, I really wanna go somewhere, but I don't even know where. I just would like to be somewhere warm or somewhere to go skiing or somewhere tropical, whatever it is. You check the map and you can actually book a trip based on cheap flights. It's just such an easy way to get away without spending a ton of money. So I can also scroll this map and see different places that I could go. So at the end of the summer, it looks like maybe we could take a weekend away to New York for a really good price. Or let's see if there's anything in South or Central America that looks good. I could zoom in here. You get the idea, right? Oh, we could go to Miami and have a beach getaway. The other thing I could do is I could actually go check what it would be like to go to Europe or go overseas. Now, in the heat of the summer, in August, when all of Europe is off, obviously these prices are expensive and that's gonna be the highest season to go, but really you could use the map and look all over the world to see what it would cost to go places on any given date, which is pretty amazing. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to go to New York because I noticed that the tickets were very affordable. I'm gonna click New York. And then over here on the left side of the screen, it's gonna show you the flight. Click View Flights. And then it will just bring up your regular Google search now with the new parameter of going from Chicago to New York. I wanna show you one other quick thing if I'm using Google Flights for just a way to sort of save money. Let's say I have my mind set on going from Chicago to New York, but I don't have dates set specifically yet. This is one of the reasons I love using Google Flights is because I'm sure you've noticed this if you've done any searching, but they will tell you the different prices on different days. It just helps if you have a little bit of flexibility. Now you know, hey, if I book on a Tuesday versus a Monday, or if I go this week versus that week, then it's going to be cheaper for me. So that is just a really good option you have when you're searching with Google to be able to look in this way. It's just automatically a money saver. One other thing I love to do with Google, let's go back to just the general flights page. We are all very programmed to look for round trip flights. I know I never even considered booking 2 different legs. It felt like doing work twice, but it can actually save you a ton of money. Let me just show you one example of how and why that might work. We're gonna look at that same itinerary from Chicago to New York. I'm gonna look at some dates in August. Let's say we're gonna go from the 17th through the 20th or so. I'm just taking a midweek trip, maybe with my girlfriends or my kids. I'm gonna hit search and I'm looking at the flights available. I would like the cheapest one possible, 5 p.m. And then it looks like the cheapest one is 6 a.m. out of New York, which stinks because that's losing the whole day and that's a brutal time to fly, but that's fine, that's what's there. So now let's compare that if I booked actually one-way flights. So I'm gonna go back to flightsgoogle.com and instead of round trip, I'm gonna select one way. So I'm going from Chicago to New York again. Now the other thing about New York when booking one-way flights is there are many different airports there. So depending on the airport you leave from or fly into, maybe it doesn't actually matter to you and you have some flexibility. A round trip is not going to book from different airports most likely, but one-ways might and it could save you a bunch of money. Okay, so we're gonna start with the 17th, hit search. Okay, now I'm looking at $89 flights one way, so we're in the same ballpark. I would like this earlier flight, so I'm going to choose that one, 1 p.m. departure. Now let's look at the return flight, and we're going to go from New York to ORD. I have to fly into Chicago O'Hare. That's where my car will be parked. Select one way, and now I'm looking at August 20th. So I could get around the same price if I were to select another $89 flight, right? But remember, my round trip flights, I was leaving at 6 a.m. on Thursday morning, and there's just no need for that. I don't want to be at the airport at 4 in the morning, and I would like to make the most of my Thursday in New York. So instead, I'm going to choose this 2:55 flight. So now we have 2 flights for $89, one way in the afternoon on Monday, one way in the afternoon on Thursday. 89 plus 89 is 178. We're sitting at exactly the same price basically, but I have this bad flight. So if I were to go back and just look like, well, what if I took the afternoon flight so that we're talking about apples for apples, the same thing? Now we have $247 for a round trip flight with feasible flights that I actually want to take versus still that 178. So I can book better flights for the same price if I book one-way tickets. That is one of my favorite hacks and best ways to save money because you want what you want, especially if I'm going to New York with my kids. I just don't really want them up at 4 a.m. to get on a flight unless we absolutely have to, but we don't have to. We can be there at 2:25 in the afternoon for the same exact price. So it's taking everything in me not to tell you that you should actually just learn points and miles so you don't have to pay cash at all for those flights, especially to New York. So if you're interested in doing that, again, grab the link to apply for my program down below, Travel More Method for Widows. I would love to talk to you about your travel dreams, what the challenges have been, and how we can actually completely change your travel future by using your regular spending. So anyway, I hope these are helpful. If there are things that you do that help you save a bunch of cash, I would love to hear them in the comments. That way we are all learning from each other, and I love supporting the widow community. I hope you will like and subscribe to the page because I'm going to be sharing as much as I can here. I'd love to have you along for the journey. All right, have a good week.